right, we are loaded up. Side is clean. Hit it. What is that sound? There it is again. What is that? Is there something in my car? Freaked out. Now I'm all concerned there's a rodent in my car. I guess we'll see. Once I got back from my trip, the 4Runner basically just sat there for a week. Until it was time for me to pick up my grocery order. At which time I was greeted with such a stench. Now, if you have not heard, pack rats can be a real problem if you park in the desert. They're attracted to the safety and warmth of the engine bay as well as any snacks you may have. And that includes the tasty soy or corn-based coatings of your vehicle's electrical system. I never really worried about them too much since I typically only stay for one night. With the source identified, I moved on to some rudimentary cleanup. Judging by the scent, I was 99% sure that the intruder was deceased. My theory is that since it was a very cold night while I was camping, it crawled up under the wheel well trying to find some warmth, and then when I drove to go home, it kind of freaked out, and that was the scrabbling sounds. And then once I parked at home, it got all cozy, made itself a little bed, and spent some time exploring the interior of the 4Runner. But that week, it was sunny and in the upper 90s, and no doubt well over 100 degrees inside. And with no water available, it probably succumbed to the heat. Looks like it checked in, but it didn't check out. With that confirmed, the next thing to do is to retrieve the remains. If only I could find them. Judging by the intensity of the odor, I highly suspect that it's somewhere between the dash and the firewall, somewhere near the center. But short of disassembling the dash, there is no way to get in there and be sure. Okay, now this is gross, but the second best option is just to let it dry out. Thankfully, I live in a hot, dry environment that is perfectly suited for mummy making. Also, I am grateful that I didn't have to drive anywhere. I just left it parked in the sunshine with the windows cracked. Ames did all the driving, and I had the groceries delivered. With the temperatures rising, within a week, the interior was actually already tolerable. And the following week, I proceeded with some pretty aggressive scent remediation. Now, everyone has their favorite rodent deterrent. I went with a homemade peppermint oil spray. In addition to the spray, which you spray around your wheel wells and such, I have many motion sensor lights that I can put underneath at nighttime that is supposed to scare them away. Some people install a mesh over the cabin air intake, and I would love to do that, but accessing it takes some vehicle disassembly, so that will be a future project. All right, best I understand, the cabin air goes down through here. There's a inlet, and then it goes behind your dash, through the firewall, behind your dash, and then goes through the filter. And I think that down here, if I can get it, this is an outlet. So I think you could put something like this, maybe something with a smaller hole, anywhere in those 3 points. Ideally, the entry, that would be number one. A month later, it was time for my next camping trip, and all was back to normal. Except that the rosemary oil dropper broke, so now it smells too good in there. Seems like this ride was a dead end. For that guy, it was the end of the road. And that's what happens when you take rides from strangers. I guess it got in the wrong Uber. I guess it went rat-a-toodaloo.